Hello, students. Welcome back to your science class. For the past few days, we have been discussing your last chapter, that is chapter number 12, our environment. And under this topic, in the previous class, we had discussed about noise pollution, right? In fact, we had just finished discussing noise pollution, which was the fourth type of pollution. So, after coming to know about all the four different types of pollution and their causes, their effect, and their prevention methods as well. So we will now discuss about them as a whole. Okay, so we are going to discuss the effects of pollution as a whole. What are the effects? So here, the effects of pollution as a whole would be, you can say that the effects which we have seen in the different types of pollution, that is the air pollution. What are the effects of air pollution? What are the major effect of water pollution, the major effect of land pollution, and the major effect of noise pollution uh, to the human beings and the animals or the environment, you can say. Okay, so what are the major impact that they are having on us? That will be discussed here under effects of pollution. So we are going to see them one by one here under effects. So the first you can uh, see here is about air pollution, the effect of air pollution. Okay, so this was also the first uh, type of pollution that we had discussed in our classes, right? So you can see that air pollution has a lot of effect on our health. You can see that the brain of the children is damaged, right? Even the gases that are there in the different gases that is there in the air, which is polluting it, is also irritating our eyes and the throat and all, causing respiratory problems, right? Even the lung diseases and all are there. So these are all the things that is caused by your air pollution. So it causes breathing problems and other respiratory diseases like the asthma, emphysema, allergies also. So we had learned about air pollution, and we had learned that the impact that it has on the human health is very concerning. It is causing breathing problems. We nowadays see a lot of people are having um, allergies and all, right? They are allergic to the air. So why is it happening? That is because of the pollutants that is there in the air. People are complaining of the respiratory diseases. We see a lot of people suffering from asthma and all. So these are all the result of the air pollutants. So this is one of the major effect of the pollutant or the air pollution. Other than that, we also have another important phenomenon taking place, that is ozone layer depletion, and this is a very concerning and very alarming problem in today's world. So also the air pollution leads to abnormal changes in the weather phenomena like the global warming, which is a very burning topic, you can say, of the today's world. Acid rain, smog, ozone depletion, so these all are the result of your air pollution due to the due to air pollutants being there in a large number in the air, which is degrading our air quality. So the ozone layer is getting depleted. The level of the level of the temperature of the earth is rising like every year. It is rising and rising, causing a global concern. A global warming is taking place. Smog formation takes place during, especially during winter seasons and all. And also acid rain, which we had learned that the acid rain is the immediate impact or the immediate effect, you can say, of the air pollution in the uh, under the acid rain. We had learned that when the air pollutants are released from the smoke, right, from the factories, when it is released at that time, it precipitates along with the water vapor, which is evaporated. And when the clouds, like, they condense and form the clouds, and um, when the water, like, it falls down on the back to the surface of the earth, at that time the rain so formed is called the acid rain, because some of the particulate matter that is coming out from the factories in the form of smoke, that is producing your mild acids. So this is your acid rain, and this causes lots of destruction of the plants and animals, and also important monuments, and also human health. It may cause skin cancer as well. So these are some of the uh, very harmful effects, you can say, of your air pollution. Other than that, you can see ozone depletion of ozone, which exposes earth's surface to harmful uv rays. So we talk about uv rays, we talk about sunscreen, and that we talk that the ultraviolet rays are very harmful for our skin. It can cause a lot of destruction, it can cause skin cancer, and that is why we all talk about ultraviolet rays, and we say that we need to apply sunscreen while going out in the sun. But if the layer that is protecting us from this uv rays, okay, so the ozone itself, if it is getting damaged because of the pollutants in the air, then it is very much concerning for us, not just the people, not just the human beings, but also the animals and the other plants in the surface of the earth. So this is one of the very alarming thing, you can say, as the effect of your air pollution. Secondly, we had discussed about land pollution as well, which is also a major threat, because you had seen and you also had like talked that the waste is getting accumulated, and because the waste is getting piled up so much that the uh, that it is getting difficult for the people to live in a particular area. So the landfills are getting, like, filled up with heaps of waste. Also in the residential areas we can see this type of things, right, that the waste are being dumped on the side of the streets only, thereby causing like, if the things are getting decomposed there only, that gives a very foul smell, and that is not at all like good for the health as well. So these are some of the uh, effects that the land pollution have on the people. So waste decay encourages household waste and slowly turns urban areas into dirty and unhealthy places to live in. So that is exactly what I was telling you all right now, that if the garbages are allowed to stay in the open areas, okay, no proper disposal of the waste is being done, in such a case, then the things that can decompose, they are obviously going to decompose there, because of the decomposition of the uh, waste. The pest which pest and the microorganisms which will act upon such decayed matter is obviously going to come and like sit there, eat it. So it is very much dangerous for the human to survive in such a condition, because those pests may not be good for the, or it is usually not good for the people. So that is why it becomes very unhealthy, unhygienic place for the people to survive there. Poisonous substances also affect the humans and other organisms, as they find their way into the human body through food and causes serious health problems. So this is another thing that we had talked about. Like, if the land pollution is there, if the crops are growing in such a land which is polluted, so through crops also these um, poisonous substances can enter the human body, because we are consuming that crops only, right? Or if our children are going and playing on the polluted land, they are bringing with them the pollutant inside the home, and it may so happen, like, children, we very often know that they are not like, they may not be washing hands properly sometimes, so they may consume the waste product or the poisonous thing. So this is very much harmful for the health. Soil also becomes infertile and does not support growth of the plants, and in this way lots of land each year, it becomes uh, unfertile. So you know that when the land is getting polluted, when the land is getting polluted because of the increased fertilizers being used, the increased amount of pesticides being used, at that time the soil is getting infertile, and thus the plants cannot grow properly, as a result of which that particular land will become infertile, and we also lose the topsoil of the land. So these are some of the effects that the land pollution has on the people and other living beings. Next one, we talked about noise pollution as well, that noise pollution can lead to nervous disorders. So if we are having if we are exposed to noise pollution for a long period of time, then obviously we are going to face um, men, we are going to face problems related to mental health, and also we can see the changes in our behavior, as we already discussed this before. Anxiety, stress levels will increase, aggressive behavior can be there. So these were some of the problems that we discussed in the previous class as well. So noise pollution, it can lead to nervous disorders, high blood pressure as well, stress and sleep disturbance, and also deafness. So if we are exposed to noise pollution, high volume noise for a longer period of time, there may be temporary or permanent deafness also, which we talked about in the previous class, right? Too much noise can cause permanent deafness, which was like explained to you all in the previous class when we were discussing noise pollution, that if you are exposed to noise pollution for a long period of time, you may have to suffer from deafness also. So along with that, people will also, like if we are exposed to noise pollution for a long period of time, then we may also have problems related to the heart. The heartbeat may like increase, right, causing cardiovascular diseases. So if we are exposed to certain like this type of noise pollution for a longer period of time, then there are high chances of people like facing heart stroke and all. So these are some of the problems that is there as an effect of your noise pollution. Other than that, we had also had a look on the effect of water pollution. So when the water is polluted, we saw that we human beings are affected, but along with it, the animals living in the aquatic conditions, the water bodies as well as the plants, were facing the problems. So we can see here in the picture as well how the animals of the aquatic uh, environment or the water bodies are facing the problems. So they are adversely affected by the water pollutants and can also cause the death of marine life. So not just the solid waste which is being thrown into the water bodies causing them problem, but also we talked about the waste waters and all the effluents from the industries and all, which may lead to the death of the marine life, because the temperature of water that is coming out as a waste from the industries are very high compared to the temperature of the water body. So that was causing a major effect on the life of the water animals. Along with that, we see that water pollution causes approximately 14,000 deaths per day. So this is a very alarming rate. 14,000 animals are dying per day, which is a very concerning thing, because in this way, if the death occurs in such a manner, then the aquatic animals will be like, we might be losing some of them, mostly due to contamination of drinking water by untreated sewage in developing countries. So the main factor is because of sewage. We talked about sewage as well, that sewage is the water that is coming out from our uh, bathrooms and toilets, which is untreated. So if like the untreated water is still being thrown in the water bodies, so it may cause the death of the animals. So that is what we discussed, right? So with this, we are ending the effects of pollution on the human life and the environment. And in the next class we are going to discuss the control measures also. We have had a look at how to control the different types of pollution. One by one we have checked them. Now we are going to discuss the control measures as a whole, like how to control pollution. We are going to consider all the four different types of pollution as a whole and then discuss about the control measures here jointly. So with this we will end our today's class. Thank you children.